Entre nous.
Entre nous,
Le podcast.
pour parler de sexualité. Par vous, avec vous.
Pour vous.
Welcome in the 65th episode of the podcast of the Lovell Center, Entre nous. And today I'm happy to welcome Steffi.
Hello, enchantée.
So you are the partner of Nicolas,
It's true.
and we already record a podcast in French recently. And you propose Yvan together. You're a partner in life and in profession also.
Yeah.
And you propose activities in French and English. That's really amazing.
Yes, it is. Yes, so for us it's amazing to do this, in fact, because we can see that the language does not have to be a barrier. So even though if you really don't understand one word, in our spaces the heart language is more present. So it's beautiful that we can mix all of this together and that we have a big multicultural approach with our spaces.
And it's nice. It's pretty rare in the French part of the country in Belgium that people propose activities in French and English, especially in intimacy. And that's it's a added value, I would say, a pretty unique on your side. Can you present yourself to the audience? Who you are, Steffi?
I would say in my previous life, I was a graphic designer, or I actually am still a graphic designer, but my focus shifted the last years a lot. Because of my own private path, I discovered Tantra for me and this tantric world. And that was opening for me a huge door into a world that has a lot of more depth and knowledge for me. I could deeply integrate in my whole system. So that was for me a beautiful way to jump into this and to open new possibilities, to propose now seminars with Nicolas, my partner. I met also in spaces like that. So to go in the individual work with people, to really go deep with others. And this is a very beautiful part now of my life. It took me a lot to have the courage to go this path, but I'm super grateful that I did it, and a lot of things were opening for me since I did this.
And what is your involvement in the love community and the job? And Nicolas explained he dedicates his full time to develop this accompaniment and I would not say business, but his profession about intimacy for individuals and groups. And on your side, how do you contribute or co-create with him, and what is the proportion of your involvement? Because you're still an artist and a graphism. So
both is for me not a contradiction, because I'm actually integrating my artistic approach into the work with the love community. And Nicolas and me, we created this together. So it was a vision coming from a private dream for both of us, and then it evolved into the love community. So yes, we are both into this. It's taking a lot of space and time, as it is something so personal, and for that it's just present every day. I cannot in fact say, okay, I spent this amount of time in the graphic design, this amount of time in the love community, because it is like the thing that is driving me. So
thank you. What is your intention recording this episode together today?
that's a good question. I think I followed my intuition, and I would like to give your audience a little bit an insight into our universe, into our world, as I think it's something really beautiful to share for those who are open for it and want to go this path. I think that's my intention, more or less.
Thank you. What would be your definition of sexuality, if you want to, today, as you are, or you would put words on this amazing topic?
I think sexuality for me is connected a lot with empowerment. With me, as I'm defining myself as a woman, so I can really feel when I'm in my sexuality and I meet my sexual energy, I can really feel this ancient woman inside of me and all the power that is connected with that. So I'm not just connected to me, I'm also connected to all of the women before me. So this is a strong life force that is helping me to go through life. So if I would repress this, and I did repress this for a long time in my life, it has an effect on my whole body, on my whole system. I'm not walking straight, I'm not stable, I'm not balanced. And now I feel in my power, I can face challenges more relaxed or balanced. I'm like more happy. So I feel really authentic. I feel I can express myself, and expressing is a way to be in our world. And if I don't express myself, I'm kind of not visible. And sexuality is something that is for me a liberation and truly finding your authenticity and your inner wild woman, man, or everything in between.
It's so beautiful. And indeed, when I listen to your explanation, I really feel it's a topic we cannot avoid at some point, somewhere in the life. It's something we need to embrace, to welcome and develop, because it's there one way or another, and it's bring empowerment, self-expression, authenticity, communication, wellness. It's all about very important human needs and energies, and it's all there in sexuality. And indeed, as you mentioned, when we suppress it, it gets impact that is not visible necessarily there because it's hidden in a taboo or it's private life and nobody can see it, but we can maybe see the effect of the suppression somewhere else in the life. So I just wonder if, you mentioned Tantra, but was this trigger point to start to unsuppress or to welcome the sexuality in your life? How is it? Or maybe because you met someone, or what was the element that guides you to feel more free? Because I think many people feel blocked at a certain point in their life, and it's very inspiring people to know how everyone is progressing and open up there in this domain.
In the end, I was changing, or I was doing this step because I was suffering a lot. So I choose very early in my life to be in war with myself, my body. I did not like my body at all. I was super disconnected. That was not necessarily coming from myself. That was coming more from outside. But yes, of course, when you're a young person, you try to fit in. You try to stay a part of a social group, to feel secure, to feel safe. And I thought I had to change myself to be loved, in fact. And so for a long time, I tried to be someone else. Very long time. But my body and my whole system felt like something is not right here. So it's not who you are. And at one point, the suffering was huge. And I tried with therapies, and I don't know what to fix it. But what I realized is that therapy is happening in the mind. And it was the body that needed attention. So, and then I discovered this tantric seminar. That was one I would really not recommend to someone, but I was able to really filter out the teaching for me. And after over years with eating disorder and a really bad perception of my own body, I was finally free. I was able to be just naked. There was no sexuality, nothing happening in this moment. Just to be naked as a human being between others, and I did not have the need to hide myself, to cover myself. Before it was not possible. If I went to the sea with my friends, I always had a towel or something to hide my body. And at this moment, I felt like, wow, I just opened the door. I could not open for so many years. I have to know what is behind this door. I have to go through and to check, okay, what can I discover here? And that was not so easy because at this moment my relationship was a bit on stake and I had to make a decision for me or for the relationship, for my partner. And I think what was coming in my mind was, okay, I have to be with me my whole life, but I can choose with who I want to be around me. What choice do I have then in the end? And I think this was the moment when I was stepping into a world where I had the feeling, okay, here I can heal my body and my connection between my body and my mind.
Thank you for sharing that, and emphasize also on the way that talking to the mind is important, but there are some limits, because some progress should go through the body, integrate and feel the body and welcome the body and be with the body and say, okay, we are not just a mind, a soul, or thoughts. We are first a body also, and it's the direct way to ourselves somehow. And it's so beautiful. I would like to cover topics that motivates me to ask you to come to the microphone. Is to talk about the drawings that you are doing, the genital drawings, because with your own personality, but also your patience and your skills and artistic skills and knowledge, but also soft skills about it. It's a wonderful universe. I have the chance to visit your place in Liège, and there are some drawings on the wall which I really love a lot. I like it a lot. Can you talk about it? What you propose about the drawings and about the aesthetic of the genitals, of the vulva, because it's so amazing. If you can talk half an hour about it, I would be so happy.
Yes, I would love to talk about this. So for me, this topic is very much connected to my own story, because I was so much disconnected with my body and also with my sexual life that I was not really looking at my own yoni. So yoni is the Sanskrit word for the female genitals, for the vulva, for the vagina. So for me to reconnect with this body part was a big step, to take a mirror, to look at her. I call her because it's a she. And to acknowledge her in all her pain she had already, in what she had to live so far, some nice things, some really not nice things, and to be good with that and to say, wow, that's me, that's beautiful. And what I can see in our work is that a lot of women are not even looking at this body part. And it's also really not easy. What you can see is not a lot. So you really need a mirror. You need an external tool to really check, how do I look there actually? So for men, it's more easy. Or for people with lingam, it's more easy because they have it maybe in the hand or they look at it daily. For us, it's not so easy that have a yoni. So we need really something extra to have a look. And as we have also some images, we know from the media how a yoni should look like. This is very limited. So the reality is just incredible, full of diversity and beauty. And a lot of women or a lot of people with yonis think that they have not a beautiful yoni because it's not matching to what they see in media. And for me, that's just touching me a lot, and it's very often very sad stories that are connected to this. And what I do, I propose also some individual sessions where we meet, where we talk about the relationship to this body part, and then we make up a ritual. And during this ritual, I make yoni drawings. That means I'm invited from the person to look at the yoni, and then I make sketches and I make a painting in the end. From my point of view as a graphic designer, it's super interesting to see all these different shapes and forms, because when it comes to the theory of perception, our eyes are attracted to shapes that have like a wave form. So very linear shapes are very often not catching the eye. So when there is a person with a lot of skin, for example, the inner lips are a little bit bigger, or there's a lot of skin around the clitoris, some people are really not happy about this because they think it's too much and you can see too much of it. But for an eye, in fact, it's super attractive. So you can see all the shapes and the forms when you can move it, even when you sit differently. It's changing all the time. And so you have, in this big variety you have with each human being, you have also with your own body a huge variety, because all of this is changing every day and you can put it in different angles and directions, and it's just super nice for the occupation of the eye to look at it. And when I hear that people are taking out some skin, making surgeries to match to this picture they receive from the media, wow, I feel a lot of sadness and anger also inside of me, because they try to adapt to something that is not the reality. It can be for a reality for a few people, but yeah, it's taking out the diversity of everyone else. And so I'm super happy when people come to me and do this work to change their point of view, maybe to their own body. So that's a really wonderful work and very heartwarming and touching.
I like these artistic eyes that you have, the look you have about the genitals, because the beauty is based on the curves, the organic shape, the roundness, the depth also, all this variation and the diversity, like it's so rich element for the eyes. And then it's also nourishing the mind, and the body also is very complex. And I like the way you can invite people to look at it different way. To maybe you have some advice for people that really have some challenge to look at themselves because they have a certain perspective, or some glasses, like the main media glasses, whatever. It's not a judgment, but of course we know what we mean. There are more and more aesthetic surgery of the genitals, and people have already a difficulty to accept their own body. And it's the same for the genitals. Usually it's a bit coherent if you accept your face, your body, your hips, your arms, your fingers, whatever, then it's coherent sometimes. But the genitals sometimes is a taboo, or sometimes it's the way to meet yourself a different way, to accept yourself a different way, because it's just you and yourself. Nobody else can see it except you decide, and it's your private life, and you can start to meet yourself thanks to the yoni also.
It's not up to me to give advices. I think an invitation is maybe, for my feeling, the better word, to really check, okay, what is my feeling I have in this body part or somewhere else? A lot of people are in war with the body or do not like certain body parts, but the invitation in this case would for me to close the eyes and to touch the body with the image of how would I touch someone else, the person I love the most. What love would I give with my hands to this body? And to just stay in this image and to give this touch to your own body, and to discover how is it looking like in my head. Does it feel good for my fingers or not? Most of the time, or not is not existing, because most of the time the sensation our bodies can give us is so beautiful that also the image of our body in our heads is becoming more beautiful. And this can be any body part. If this is the yoni, if this is the lingam, the belly, whatever, doesn't matter.
Thank you. And so if people want to contact you, for instance, to experience welcoming their own genitals and make a drawings out of it, also like to celebrate and also appreciate themselves even better and honor this part of the body, how does it work? How people can contact you to?
First of all, via my website. I have on my website a page about this, and there is also like a form they can fill already if they want to have, that I have already a small picture of what is maybe the topic or what they are looking for. They can also, because it can be a fragile topic, so they can just call me, we speak on the phone. This is most of the time the more easy way for everyone. The fear is not there that there are some data somewhere in internet that might be distributed somewhere. So I'm always happy to speak with the people, because then I can feel what is the energy. They can feel if my energy is the good one for them. I think this is most of the time how it works. Then we speak about it. I invite them to come if they want to make this step. We have a talk before, because the mood is changing each day, each second. So we will have again a talk. We will decide together what we do. If it is like a bodywork session, or if it is a drawing session. And then we go slowly into progress in the process, very progressively. And also in the session, I ask that the person is inviting me to look. So I want to empower the people, and I don't want to impose myself or my ideas. It's really about that they take the power in their hands and they say, okay, now you can look. And now I allow you, I give you the permission to draw. And this is the process, how it works. So in the end, I make sketches. After this, I make a painting, and then they receive the painting in the end.
Should be a wonderful moment for both of the people, for you and for the person, to just create this kind of space, which is pretty unique. And I've seen wonderful pictures that you made, drawings. It's really amazing, and for me, it's so much beauty in the way to do it and to welcome, to accept this part of the body. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for resonating with it. Otherwise, it would be just a graphic designer sitting in a small room and painting.
It's usual to say that to welcome others or appreciate others, it's important also to welcome and appreciate ourselves as we are. And if we are in love or in symbiosis with our own body, it's more easy to be that way with others. And sometimes, you mentioned, you can inspire yourself by how you behave with the body of someone else when you care, and maybe you can apply it to yourself or the reverse, whatever. But it's also an ongoing process between you and others. Whatever is the starting point where you are, it's nice to love yourself more, to also appreciate the moment with others even higher in a more wonderful way. It's inspiring to meet you and Nicolas, to discover your universe and the way you accompany people. Is there other services that you propose in this intimacy domain, whatever it's about your artistic skills or within activities about massage or with Nicolas? What else do you want to share today or to promote?
Yes, so Nicolas, I think, was already sharing a little bit about the seminars we give. About my own individual work, I do also massage. So it's inspired by tantric massage, but it is more focused on the heart. So very often people come and say they have some sexual problems with the sexuality. And in the end, it's not a problem of sexuality. It's actually a closed heart, or a heart that lived already a lot of wounds, a lot of hurtings, pain. And so I focus more on this heart energy to create a protected space for people so that they can have a heart connection with themselves again, or in the couple as well. So people can also come when they have problems in the couple. We don't find a passage to each other anymore. Okay, then we analyze what is the fact and how can we open the eyes and the ears and the heart again for each other. And this is what I love to do. It's a very beautiful thing to open this heart energy. This can be a massage, but this can be also just a cuddling. So I propose also some cuddle sessions. Often people come with wounds about overstepping of boundaries. And of course, they want to be in touch. This is a basic need we have as a human being. But out of these wounds, they don't dare anymore to get in a contact with someone else. And then I can help. I can give some tools of communication. We can practice this in the sessions, and they can nourish themselves at the same time. So this is like beautiful. It's just incredibly beautiful to do this with people, to accompany them and to hold space also when it's not so easy.
Thank you. So nice to think and to join expressively the opening of the heart and see if it's what the heart is saying. Is it talking about pain and suffer or wounds or whatever? What is there, and how we can just welcome and love ourselves and listen what is there, and how we can open up ourselves to more love. Because indeed, if you disconnect this channel and no nutriment can pass between us and others, how can we have a fulfilling life? It's important to just reconnect and listen what is there. And I could imagine that sometimes there are some tears in this session.
Just tears, and anger. We have all the range of emotions, but it's good and it's beautiful. And also anger is a very valid and very beautiful energy. Aggression is something else, of course, so we make also a huge difference between the subtleties. But of course, it can be accompanied, like with a child when it's growing and you see how it's living all the emotions and doesn't know what to do with it. This is the same for adults. So we don't learn at school, unfortunately, how to deal with our emotions. So most of the time we repress them. And this is making this suffering we have as adults. And this is a big, big reprogramming to allow it to be there and to process it and to be okay with it and to parent yourself in it. Yeah, it's maybe something that would be beautiful to learn already more early in our lives. Not everyone has the chance to do this.
You're creating this space, and any emotion is there. And there's no hierarchy really. It's just what is it? Is it anger or pain or joy or shyness or whatever? It's what is there, and we can just be present to welcome that. Wow, it's already two amazing topics you propose, huh? This cuddling or heart with a massage or heart opening session, and the drawings of the genitals. Is there any other amazing services that you propose? And that's so beautiful.
There are so many in the pipeline. I think that's a bit the problem. Huh? We have so many ideas. I have so many ideas. But yeah, we have to do one thing after the other. I think for now, the love community is really taking a lot of space and to build up the whole structure, to be in a good communication, to improve also ourselves as, in holding the space. So we are growing with the people. It's not a one-way thing. So we point out also again and again that we want that this is a place of growth with each other. And we are super open for impulses. We love to share our impulses we have already, to speak about the structures we are living in, about the cliches we grow in, to see, okay, what is actually valid for me. It's good that we have structures and boxes and cliches in our society, kind of, because we need them a little bit to structure such a huge amount of people. But we are also free to really choose, okay, what do I take for me? How do I define a certain term, a certain box someone else is putting me in? It is up to me to design it, to create it for my own life. And this is what we do in this community, to get rid of the stuff we don't need anymore and to ask the question, what if you could feel completely safe in being the real you, authentic you? How would your life change in this moment? How would it look like? And then people have really a choice to reflect about their own lives, what they take from society or not, and to choose, okay, I want to stay in this or not.
It's really beautiful, the love community you are creating. As you mentioned, there are so much possibilities to create. You and Nicolas are, I would say, vivid about many topics and the possibility of creation. And you grow with people and the community step by step. Where is it possible to go and what is important between the discussion with people and the talk and also the body experience. It's so great. And I just want to remind people that Liège, of course in Belgium we think that distance is long between cities, but Steffi, you come from Germany, you have a different approach. Liège and let's say you come from Brussels or Namur or Charleroi, whatever. Liège is not so far, in fact. You can join them in the love community. You can go to Liège regularly every month or whatever. It could be a nice journey for yourself. So, the distance is very close. And I guess the love community is more local for the moment, or is it coming from many? Because also Liège is near Germany and Holland. So, in fact, it's really nearly at the border of 3 countries.
In fact, the community is quite from everywhere. We have people coming from Germany, we have people coming from France, so actually people come from Switzerland, so people come from everywhere. We are at the moment also building a love community in Germany because it is so close and because we feel to join, to merge these two cultures a little bit, and actually all the cultures. We are very multicultural people, Nicolas and me, and we love this mixture. So it is just so enriching to have people from different countries, from different societies, cultures in our space, because we can learn so much from each other. And yes, it's funny with the language, and sometimes it's taking a bit time to translate. So we have sometimes in the evenings we translate, of course, also. But it's a work that is so worth to do, because we can see how it's bringing the people together. And that like borders are just a concept in our heads. So this is on the paper, this is nothing real, in fact. And so with this mindset, it's so beautiful to offer these spaces. And what I wanted also to share about it, it's not about a therapy or stuff like this. We have enough therapeutes in this world. It's okay. But it is a place where you can be with what you bring. It's a place of experience. And this knowledge, what we were speaking about, this knowledge of the body, has not so much space to be expressed and not so much spaces to be considered. And this is what we try to do in these spaces, to give place and space to the mind, to the body, and to be in this dance with each other, for each person, and then as a group as well. And then everything can be there. And the encouragement is also to follow what you feel and in this moment. We have some framework, of course, that we can build up a protected space. So we have few rules you have to stick to. But within this field, we can just be free in the expression of ourselves in, okay, how does it feel if I say no now to someone? Is this a big challenge for me or not? How is the other one receiving the no? Oh, what if I don't have now the drive to join this exercise? What if I just sit on the side and I watch? All of this is possible and present, and this is okay. So it's really a space where you can be with what you bring, and you cannot plan this before. It will happen in this moment. And so there are no expectations. And this is the thing that we want to create and to offer, because it's not so often that you can have this somewhere else. And I think this is more or less the idea of it.
Thank you, Steffi. The time is running fast, and it's already the end of the podcast. Of course, you can come back anytime you want. You have any inspiration in coming months. And to come up to the end of the podcast, sometimes I ask the question to invitees: do you have any advice in sexuality? Maybe way different than what you share already, but anything that could be useful for people, maybe just a nugget, a tips or suggestion, even if you don't want to give advice, but a suggestion, It could be a book, it could be a workshop or anything.
It depends, of course, what is alive for the person. But I think what was interesting for me to deconstruct the role I am in as a woman, especially, was this book, Ethical Slut. This is, I think in French, it's salope. Because this book was, I think it's also interesting when you just want to live a monogamous relationship, but it is opening a little bit the perspective on relationships and on how can I be and can I live my sexuality and take care of my partners. And this is not necessarily only connected to live in an open relationship or any other kind of relationship besides monogamous one. I think it's just nice to see, okay, this is actually an idea I grew into, this relationship thing, monogamous like we know it, like everybody is considering it as normal. This is an idea, and I don't have to sacrifice myself to stay in this. It's actually only communicating. And maybe, yes, I think maybe the tool I would like to share is really like the nonviolent communication. This is so helpful for everything. If it comes to sexuality or the daily life, it doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you for those suggestions. We'll close with a gratitude. It could be also about anything, any gratitude in your life, in the present moment, or whatever, what resonates with you today.
I think I would like to express my gratitude for life, first of all. and it was bringing me to Belgium, and I was like never expecting this, but voila, here I am. And yes, I have a lot of gratitude for myself that I had this courage to do it without knowing the outcome. And I have a lot of gratitude about these people around me, about Nicolas, of course, of the people from this love community that are so open, and also to welcome me, the one that is not speaking really French, with an open heart. It's very beautiful, and I'm very grateful for this. And of course, I'm grateful for you that I can come here and that you give me the space to talk about these topics that are really like very connected to my heart and passion. And yes, thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Steffi. And I wish all of you a wonderful life and a wonderful sexuality, just as you are. So see you in the next podcast. And you can also communicate with us with the voice message recording. So you can communicate with Steffi if you want to send us a message. We'll transmit her. And thank you for listening us. See you next time.
Entre nous.
Entre nous,
Le podcast.
pour parler de sexualité. Par vous, avec vous.
Pour vous.